What happens when a Southern California boy named Matt Hotch starts building dazzling, innovative custom motorcycles? His friends start calling him Hot Match, and he starts winning national build-offs. And this young man is not shy about his place in the world of customs.
I feel my bikes they change in the industry. I mean, they influence it a lot. And I'm more of a leader than a follower. You know, I kind of invent or make the industry, or my little area of it, rather than following it. And that's one thing I'm very proud of. I like bikes to flow. I've always tried to make motorcycles, when you pass from the front wheel to the gas tank to the seat to the rear wheel, that it all flows in one line. I always hated motorcycles. You know, people would spend so much time building them and creating them, and then they would throw cables on it and wires and hanging everywhere. I mean, your eye was so wild.
It's a short but glittering list of custom builders whose styles inspired Matt Hotch to create Hot Match.
People like Arlen Ness, Ron Sims, kind of the old school builders, Dave Perowitz. I mean, when you're in the garage doing it and you don't have that much money, you're kind of forced to use their parts, so the bikes somewhat look like their own until you find your own identity and you find your way in the industry, and that's kind of where everybody starts out.
And to this builder, there's no doubt as to the prime objective.
The rideability of the bike is number one, the show part of it second. It's always been, for me, for the customers to be able to enjoy the motorcycle. And there's form over function, but I would rather have the bike rideable than show quality. And there's a lot of people that don't get it. You know, a lot of people build bikes that are only for show, but if you take them on the road, I mean, they'll bust in a few hundred miles.
To Matt Hotch, pursuing the art of perfection usually means working alone.
What I wanted to do is never have somebody else do my work. Nowadays, I do everything but motors and trannies. I found people that do it better than I did, and that's kind of hard to find, so I was able to trust them to do that. But as far as the creating, the welding, the fabrication, the assembly, it's all me. I'm the only one in this entire shop. I have 10,000 square feet just to myself to assemble and fabricate the motorcycles. Everybody else basically runs the business, shipping, receiving, answering phones, and basically running the stuff that pays the bills every month and allows me to be creative.
Matt got bored working in the sterile environment of a concrete industrial park and instead invested in a workspace that works for him.
About a year and a half ago, we found this building. This is an office that we built just to keep me away from downstairs. This is kind of the little tiki room outside here. It's a really bitchin' room. I get to see it maybe once every 2 months. This is what's left of our arcade pool table. This is where we keep the bikes when people come in. It's built in 1923. It's actually a historic building. It's an orange packing house. We used to pack oranges in here. We have 16,000 square feet. You know, that has the open beam construction, the windows. I fell in love with it when I saw it. It just makes me want to be creative when I walk in, and then, to me, that's important. Both of these bumpers are actually from the California Speedway when they raced, and they both wrecked. This one's from the Dale Jr. team. Over the years, I've collected enough tools to where I can make anything I want. And it's just, creatively, it's just me, what kind of mood I'm in. It's kind of weird. I go through a weird process. When I build a bike, after I finish, I go through a creative block. I mean, I have to golf for 3 months before I get creative again.
Apparently, the golf is working, because Matt keeps coming up with cool innovations.
Some of the parts that I've invented is I have a pop-up flush mount gas cap. It basically sits flush. You can paint it the same color as your bike, and you push down and twist it, and it pops up, you can unscrew it. That I have a patent on. I have a springless kickstand, and that also has a U.S. patent.
Matt's new project is an air suspension system. It's pretty amazing.
The thought processes I go through, I think about stuff like the air system. I mean, 5 years of thoughts in my head. I think about how it would break and how I could make it better before I actually put it on the bike.